The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak, has announced that UK will go to polls on 4th of July. The poll will be the first time Rishi Sunak faces the public while in charge after he was appointed leader of the largest party in Parliament in an internal Conservative vote in October 2022. The vote, the third since the Brexit referendum in 2016, comes as Sunak seeks to capitalise on better economic data to woo voters hit by cost of living crises. Reports claim Sunak's strategy could be a risky move as Conservatives are running way behind Labour in the opinion polls. Despite hailing a decline in inflation and an increasing defence spending, the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister's government has failed to make a dent in the opposition party's lead. Conservative lawmakers said Sunak seems to have decided to call the election after realising that economic gains might not last and that it might be difficult to get flights of illegal asylum seekers off the ground to Rwanda. And for more on this, we are now being joined by journalist Nabanita, who is joining us on the phone line from London. Hi, Nabanita. The rumor is no longer a rumor anymore. Now we know that the UK will hold elections. This is after the King granted the Prime Minister's request for dissolution of Parliament, and elections will be conducted on July 4th. What happens now? What happens next?
Well, to start with, because it has been raining, it is very funny that the election is announced and is rained on. Also, July election was earlier, for the last time that it was held was in 1945, just after the Second World War, and the Tories lost. And this time, in his speech, when he was speaking, he said that it's the most dangerous time since the Cold War. So it is a very ironical space. Now what will happen is Labour will be very happy that they were wanting an early election. They are 20 points ahead. But as far as the Tories are concerned, this from Rishi Sunak is an extremely bold, surprising, audacious move, actually, because there's turbulence within the Tory party. It's 20 points behind Labour, and he actually is not in a position to say that he has fulfilled the pledges he has made. I know he is depending on the fact that IMF said UK will have a soft landing, it's out of inflation. So he'll probably go to the electorate and say, oh, things are only going to get better from here, and try and confuse Labour on policy issues. And I think for him, he's putting his premiership just out of the misery that has been happening, because it's such a gamble. There have been so many defections within the Tory, so many resignations, and there are leadership contenders. So it is a huge gamble he's taken. How they go forward from it, I don't know. In his speech, as you might have noticed, he said now is the time for Britain to choose its future. And he also accepted that he hasn't got everything right.
Let's talk about that future, Nabanita, because he says, and he came to power to improve the economy of the UK, despite the setbacks, including the war in Ukraine that Putin started and the pandemic, and he has done just that. He's improved the economy of the country. He believes his government has done enough. He also says that the Labour Party is not strong enough, is not capable to run a government. He says it's weak. What do you make of this, his statement?
You know, it is a very bizarre statement, and this is how he's been defending himself, because no prime minister, no sitting prime minister has come back from being 20 points behind the opposition party. And he is 20 points behind. So that is why I'm saying it's a huge gamble, and he's being audacious about it. But maybe that's the only thing he's going to get done. Already there are, people from the Conservative Party, ministers who are no longer ministers, I mean former ministers, have been saying the optics are poor and the timing is absolutely wrong. So there is a kind of rebellion within the Conservative Party, and a lot of the Conservative MPs are not happy for the sudden announcement of July the 4th. Although today also in Parliament, when during the Prime Minister's question hour, the Scottish National Party leader told him something about, there's been speculation about elections. So he says, oh, you're the spoiler alert and this and that. But people were not expecting within his party.
Okay.
Now it will be very interesting to see what will happen, because Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor, has said that he'll be there till the elections and he's not going to fight another election. So now it's going to be interesting to watch what the Tory MPs will do. Will they, let's leave the ship? What will happen? Will there be some more people joining the extreme right Reform Party?
Okay.
Or as some Tory MPs have moved to Labour, what will happen? I don't know. But I think it is a huge gamble he's taken. I don't know what made him think. I think the only two things is that he's going to see at least one flight, and that is something journalists like us were expecting, one flight going to Rwanda before the elections. So that will be, he will say, see, I did it. Although there is...
Nabanita, I'm sorry to cut you short. I'm sorry to cut you short, but our time is running. I've been talking to Nabanita, who's a journalist from London. And if this is the latest, if you're just joining us, the UK has announced the general elections to be conducted on July 4th. So this is a story that we'll be keeping our eyes on and updating you with the latest. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.